5 same-sex couples in Kern County are now legally getting married. The first of many gay couples received their marriage license at 8:30 this morning at the county clerk's office in downtown Bakersfield. It was a family affair for the Waddells. Sisters Tracy and Whitney Waddell have been active in the fight for same-sex marriages in Bakersfield. Both sisters were among the first couples to be married this morning. Tracy Waddell and her partner, Sylvia Sims, have been a couple for 26 years and have waited for this day for a long time.
This is probably the most important part of this day, is getting, it's always been possible for us to have ceremonies, but to have a ceremony with a license, that's what's amazing.
41 couples were scheduled to receive marriage licenses today, all of whom Eyewitness News spoke to were gay.
As soon as the first marriage licenses were secured, many couples participated in the first gay marriage ceremonies outside the county administrative building. 29 Eyewitness News has team coverage on today's wedding ceremonies and whether a measure you vote on in November could impact them. We begin with reporter Jose Gaspar.
Do you take Karen to be your lawfully wedded spouse, to have and to hold from this day forward, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, until death do you part?
I do.
Together for 11 years, Karen Briefer and Kathy Gose were among the very first to exchange wedding vows in a gay marriage ceremony as dozens of supporters looked on.
I pronounce you married in the eyes of the law and this company. You may kiss.
Shortly after 9 o'clock, Kern County made history when gay marriages began.
I'm really proud to join the human race and have all the rights of everybody else. I'm happy. I'm ecstatic.
Gay couples got married outside the county administrative building because the county clerk's office decided it would no longer perform any wedding ceremonies for anybody, effectively denying having to perform gay marriages. The Reverend Bill Cole says that's why he decided to come here today.
Since Ann Barnett wasn't going to be marrying people, I felt that I should come here and do the job.
Security was on hand as Bakersfield police and sheriff's deputies patrolled the area just in case of any disruptions. But by noon, just one protester had shown up with a sign proclaiming marriage should be between a man and a woman.
I take you to be my husband, to love, to cherish.
Dwayne Terrell and John Figueroa met 19 months ago.
I've always known I want to spend the rest of my life with him, but we just made it official about a week ago when he asked me.
Family members of gay couples getting married here today say they support their sons or daughters in doing so, even if many in Kern County do not.
He's my son. That's all I can say. He's my son. And I love him no matter what he is, what he does, who he marries.
For Eyewitness News, Jose Gaspar.
But the question of gay marriage in California is far from over. In November, state voters will decide whether to approve constitutional amendments that would ban same-sex marriages again. So what happens next? 29 Eyewitness News reporter Carol Ferguson has been investigating that question.
Well, there is a proposed constitutional amendment. This is it, and I got it from the Secretary of State's website. The California Marriage Protection Act is just 14 words long, and if passed, it would open a lot of questions and could put the newly married couples into a legal gray area.
Marriage takes two committed people to choose.
Couples like this celebrated their weddings on the first day same-sex marriage became legal in California, but the legality could be short-lived. In November, California voters will decide on the California Marriage Protection Act. It says, quote, only marriage between a man and a woman is valid or recognized in California. If approved, what about this on-again, off-again situation?
Well, that's pretty unfair. I mean, if it's the law and it's okay, they need to stick with it.
There's going to be a lot of questions. I don't know how they're going to decipher it all and figure it all out to make everybody happy.
Surprise! People are getting married and didn't expect it.
Same-sex marriage has already been on again, off again. In 2000, California voters approved Proposition 22. That initiative had the same wording as the proposed constitutional amendment. But Prop 22 was struck down by the California Supreme Court last month. If the proposal passes as a constitutional amendment, it cannot be overturned. And that's fine by Richard Baker.
People voted and then the black robes turn right around and change everything. No, that's not right.
But what will happen to these couples if same-sex marriages become not allowed after November?
That's a gray area because this is an unprecedented situation that we're in.
We asked attorney Catherine Fox about the constitutional ins and outs. She says we could end up with a pocket of legal gay marriages starting now through November, but no more if the amendment passes, leaving some same-sex couples and lots of questions.
Well, the assumption is that they would be valid because they're valid now, unless there's language of retroactivity that it goes back to apply to the time frame that we're in now. Those marriages will assume to be valid.
Now, for one thing, right now there is nothing in the amendment that seems to be retroactive. The only thing for sure is that there will be more lawsuits. Even today, a conservative group tried to stop gay marriages before the November election, but the Court of Appeals refused to block the weddings.
It is official. As of 8:30 this morning, same-sex couples were able to get marriage licenses in Kern County. 29 Eyewitness News reporter Kate Larson was at the county clerk's office in downtown Bakersfield this morning to get people's reaction on this historic day. Kate.
A momentous occasion for all the gay couples, some who have waited for several decades and fought long and hard for the right to tie the knot with their significant other. White dresses and tuxedos, all the makings of a traditional wedding.
So to be standing here with rings in our hands is really kind of an amazing. We can't hardly wrap our minds around it.
Only this wedding is different from any other that has legally occurred in Kern County before Tuesday.
To be in this historical moment it's just overwhelming. It's just overwhelming.
Never thought this day would come. Not in our lifetimes.
Tracy Waddell and Sylvia Sims were among the first.
It's impossible for us to have ceremonies, but to have a ceremony with a license, that's what's amazing about today.
$67 buys you a public marriage license that allows you to get married anywhere in California. But today it buys a new freedom for the gay community in Kern County.
The right to marry the person of your choice is a fundamental right that every citizen has, and that includes same-sex couples.
Money well worth spending.
When people say, are you married? And you can just say, why, yes, I am.
And it was not just the gay couples getting married today that we're celebrating.
Seems like we've made quite a step forward in the direction of civil rights and equalities.
I put it in the category of when schools were finally integrated.
Not everyone who is at the county administration building today supports California's decision to allow gay marriage. One woman I spoke to who is passing out water and does not agree with same-sex marriage said she was praying, not protesting. For Eyewitness News, I'm Kate Larson.
Kate, thank you. Once marriage licenses were secured, numerous couples decided to immediately exchange wedding vows in ceremonies held just outside the county administration building.
The power invested in me by the state of California, I pronounce you married in the eyes of the law and this company. You may kiss.
With dozens of friends, families, and supporters on hand, gay couples took their vows. The gay marriages were performed by local ministers who said they felt they needed to be there since the county has now stopped performing all wedding ceremonies. Couples married today say they decided to marry for a variety of reasons.
I want to spend the rest of my life with them, but we just made it official about a week ago when he asked me.
I'm really proud to join the human race and have all the rights of everybody else. I'm happy. I'm ecstatic. It means a lot. It means that we are equal citizens to anyone else.
The ceremonies today happened without any major disturbance. One protester did show up with a sign that proclaimed that marriage should be between a man and a woman.